could be one of the biggest blunders in the history of entertainment. And it is certainly a story that lands in a top spot for the decade. Just as Netflix was hoping to acquire the deal for Warner Brothers and conquer the media landscape for a generation, defeating Disney, defeating everybody. One of its board members came out with a vicious, scorched earth political attack, the likes of which we seldom see. Now, it seems Paramount Skydance at the last minute may get Warner Brothers instead, and all because of Susan Rice sabotaging Netflix.
Companies already are starting to hear they better preserve their documents. They better be ready for subpoenas.
Hello, folks, and welcome back to the Pro Channel, where we continue to give you the news you need to know, often ahead of schedule, before the drive-bys even have a whiff, a sniff of what's coming their way. Explaining entertainment, keeping you ahead of the culture curve. It's what we do. All we ask for you to do is click the like button, and let's dive in. It is huge news breaking this Monday morning. OMG. It does not get bigger than this. Charles Gasparino, they call him Charlie. He's been the top guy reporting on Paramount, Skydance, Warner Brothers, and Netflix. He says this: Paramount and Skydance continue what has been described as good faith negotiations with Warner Brothers today to buy the entire company, as deadline for its last and final offer comes down to the wire Monday night at midnight. General feeling is it is going to increase the 30 a share to maybe as high as 33. That'll buy it now. That said, the situation is fluid. The backdrop is, of course, the increasingly dire regulatory political challenges facing the Netflix deal for the company's streaming service and studio. We just need to say, Susan Rice, and we're about to play the clip, delivered a knockout blow not only to Netflix, but her aspirations for Netflix to get Warner Brothers and then dominate the cultural sphere, to have all that power underneath her. Of course, she's the former U.S. ambassador under Barack Obama. She's done other stuff as well, big time player in politics. But she came out viciously. And now there's no way. There's just no way. There's no way. You can't convince me. There's no way that the Trump administration will ever approve Netflix getting Warner Brothers. So it's over. It's over. It says people on the Paramount Skydance side are truly shocked that the Netflix board allowed one of its members, Ambassador Rice, to literally attack Trump, given GOP skepticism of Netflix's politics and political nature of its programming. And it's not just an attack. It's not just an attack on Trump. It is the kind of authoritarian statement that should send a chill down everyone's spines. It is bonkers. We'll play the whole thing in just a minute, I promise. It says it comes amid CEO Ted Sarandos's, that's Netflix's CEO, latest wooing of the admin, including hiring of Trump-friendly lobbyists. Another baffling aspect of the Netflix public posturing is the continued denial of the existence of a monopoly inquiry on the entire firm's streaming biz, on top of the DOJ scrutiny of the deal itself that layers two major streaming services. Story is developing. Good job to Charlie Gasparino. Greatest coverage out there of this stuff. Folks, I've never seen a sabotage this bad. It is unbelievable. Let's take a look now. This is the clip that has essentially jettisoned any hope Netflix had, which if Netflix had got Warner Brothers, they would have picked up Harry Potter, DC, Looney Tunes, and so much more. And this woman and her political co-conspirators would have had control of these things, which is what they want. And they don't want Warner Brothers to be purchased by Paramount Skydance, the Ellisons, because they're friends with Trump. They're moderate. They're centrists. They've given Barry Weiss power over of CBS News. They don't lose this. CNN would go to Paramount Skydance. Barry Weiss gets control of CNN. Scott Jennings takes the lead, all of that. And Susan Rice, in all of her wisdom, chose this moment. When Netflix could have Trojan horsed this thing in, she chose this moment to go on an attack that is just unbelievable. Unbelievable. It's otherworldly. Let's play it right now. Here's the full clip. I'll play the entire thing, all 2 minutes and 50 seconds of it. We don't normally do that. But we're going to play it because you need to hear every word. No complaints coming to us that we played it out of context, Pro. We didn't hear the full thing. You're going to feel every bit of the terrorizing statement that this woman makes and why the Trump admin, there's no way Netflix gets a hold of this again. Again, Susan Rice is a board member. She's a board member with Netflix. But
when it comes to the elites, the corporate interests, the law firms, the universities, the media. I agree with you, Preet. It is not. It's not going to end well for them. For those that decided that it was, that they would act in their perceived very narrow self-interest, which I would underscore is very short-term self-interest, and take a knee to Trump. I think they're now starting to realize, wait a minute, this is not popular. Trump is not popular. What he is doing, whether on the economy and affordability or on immigration now, is not popular. And that there is likely to be a swing in the other direction. And they are going to be caught with more than their pants down. They're going to be held accountable by those who come in opposition to Trump and win at the ballot box. And I can tell you, Preet, as I talk to leaders in Washington, leaders in our party, leaders in the states, if these corporations think that the Democrats, when they come back in power, are going to, play by the old rules, I
just got to insert here, and I know, folks, it's long. We don't normally do this. You got to hear all of it. What are the old rules, like democracy? What are the old rules like? We already saw the years before Trump. We saw for the first time ever lawfare. Like, you're going to drop those are the old rules you're going to drop?
And say, oh, never mind. We'll forgive you for all the people you fired, all the policies and principles you've violated, all, the laws you've skirted. I think they've got another thing coming because, just like when Trump thought, okay, I'll redistrict and the Democrats won't have the guts to play hardball. They're going to be surprised. Democrats have had a belly full. And we're not going to play by, the old set of rules when these guys are playing by a very different set of rules. We're going to play by the law, but we're not going to violate the law the way they do, but we're not going to be suckers. And so I think, whether you're a law firm, whether you're a university, whether you're a media entity, whether you're a big corporation, whether you're big tech, you need to play a long game, not this short game that has been so detrimental. There will be an accountability agenda. Companies already are starting to hear they better preserve their documents. They better be ready for subpoenas. If they've done something wrong, they'll be held accountable. And if they haven't broken the law, good for them. If they've done the right things, good for them. That also will be noted and
who's going to decide, folks? Who's going to decide whether they followed the law? What is this? What are we talking about the law? DEI. Woke agendas.
Remembered. But, this is not going to be an instance of, forgive and forget. Right. The damage that these people are doing is too severe to the American people and to our national interest.
All right. So what is Susan Rice saying there? Bone chilling, honestly. She's saying if you're a part of a business and you do what the Trump administration says for you to do, AKA the government, and it's not what we think you should have done, we're going to come in and we're going to say that you broke the law because you didn't do what we said you should do, because you stopped following DEI. That's what this comes down to, folks. Did you stop enforcing DEI? Did you stop enforcing it the way we believe? We believe it should be enforced. If not, get your lawyers ready. We're coming for all of you. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter what company you are. Disney, ABC, CBS, NBC, doesn't matter who you are. Netflix too. Hey, yeah, I'm on the board, but it doesn't matter. She's saying we're going to get revenge. Now, that's the kind of authoritarian statement that really is bone-chilling to hear somebody say, we're coming for you if you try to comply with the government. If you try to comply with what the Trump administration says is the law, with the current DOJ, with the FCC, with all of these companies, if you try to follow that, we're coming for you when we get in power. We're coming for you. We're not coming for you. We're not coming for you. It's not going to be, we're increasing regulations. We're not coming for you with tax-wise. Get your papers. You're going to jail. That's the Susan Rice way. That's what she's saying. She's not playing nice, eh? Business Insider Tristan Anthony says, here's exactly what Susan Rice said that caused Trump to call for Netflix to fire her from its board. It says, President Donald Trump has demanded that Netflix drop Susan Rice from its board. Trump was reacting to critical comments about his administration that Rice made during a podcast. Of course, you all know, and I know, we just listened to it. It goes way beyond that. She's calling for retribution for anybody, not even Trump supporters, but those who dare try to comply with the government. And says President Donald Trump has warned Netflix to remove former U.S. Ambassador and National Security Advisor Susan Rice from its board or pay the consequences. The stakes are high for Netflix. It's in the middle of trying to execute a mega deal to buy Warner Brothers. Rice, who served in senior roles in the Obama and Biden administrations, was critical of Trump's second term in office when she appeared on Stay Tuned with Preet Bharara, a podcast and an episode published on Thursday. Rice made comments about corporations that take a knee to Trump, saying they could face retribution under a subsequent Democratic administration. Wowza. Now, Rice does appear on the board for Netflix. It has this about her on Netflix on the website, but hang tight. There's something really interesting about this. It says Ambassador Susan Rice has a long history of public service and is the only person to serve as both National Security Advisor and Domestic Policy Advisor to the President of the United States. Ambassador Rice also served as U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations and member of the President's Cabinet. She was also a distinguished visiting research fellow at American University School of International Service, non-resident senior fellow at the Belfer Center for Science and International Affairs at Harvard's Kennedy School of Government, a New York Times bestselling author and contributing opinion writer for the New York Times. Previously, Ambassador Rice held positions as U.S. Assistant Secretary of State for African Affairs and as a special assistant to President Clinton and was a senior fellow at the Brookings Institute, blah, 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 blah. You get it all, right? Down here, what's it say? Member of the Nominating and Governance Committee. Member of the Nominating and Governance Committee for Netflix. Okay? If we click on that, where does it go? Well, suddenly it goes to resource not found. Suddenly, the governance board is gone from the website, scrubbed. It's 140.pdf if you'd like to know, Netflix. If you lost that somehow, the page you were trying to access was not found or no longer exists. If you believe that this page should exist, please send an email to support@q4inc.com. Don't do that, folks. Don't flood them. It's gone. Are actions happening right now? What's going on right now, folks? We don't know. We don't know. But this lady, Susan Rice, came out and said at the very moment that, so you got to wonder, like, is she a buffoon? Now, she's the Benghazi lady, okay? You all remember that. She's Benghazi lady. Is she such a buffoon that she thought she could do this and it wouldn't destroy Netflix? Because the crazy thing about this is Netflix was on the verge of getting control of all of this stuff, and it would have been because the Obamas and Susan Rice, they're heavily involved in Netflix. They always have been. And they could have had this, and they could have kept CNN safe for their side and all that. And she came out and blindsided everybody and said, when we get back in power, there's going to be vengeance. Vengeance is mine, saith Susan Rice. The Dems are going to hurt anyone who dared comply with the Trumpster. Now, we know, folks, we don't care about the politics here on this channel. We do, but we don't talk about it until it intersects with entertainment. And this intersects in such a huge way. You can't overstate the ramifications of this. She just took, I think, was it Polymarket that had Skydance just barely edging out Netflix now after months and months of Netflix easily being in the lead? Listen, I'm not looking at Polymarket right now. I haven't checked it out this morning, but I'm telling you, whatever Polymarket says, if it doesn't match up with a just total collapse in the chances of Netflix pulling this off, this thing's over. And she toasted it. And she handed over all of these brands and CNN and all of this stuff to the Ellisons. So then it begs the question, did she do it on purpose? What is the play here? Why is she doing this? Was she angry at Netflix for daring try to convince the Orange Man to let them win this? Was she furious that they were hiring some of these folks from the Trump administration to come in and be, Trump-friendly lobbyists? Come on in to Netflix. We'll help you out. Like, is she this obtuse? Is she this binary that there is no way that you can actually have tactical moves by Netflix to say, well, we'll buddy up with him until we get the deal done and then we'll go back to the way we were, which you all know that's what they were going to do. You all know that. And they were going to lock down the theatrical system. The entire theatrical industry was going to be owned by the Democrats if Netflix had got a hold of this, because they could have controlled the release windows in the theaters. And oh my gosh, the power they were about to have, the unbelievable power, the charm that had been attempted on the Trumpster for so long. And she dumpstered it all. She dumpstered it all. What is the point in this? Why did they do this? And Susan Rice, think about it, ladies and gentlemen. If this goes now to Paramount Skydance, the Trump administration is going to rush it through as fast as they can because they want CNN to be in the hands of the Ellisons before the midterms. Again, I'm not trying to tell you about the politics of it. I'm trying to explain the entertainment side of this. And Susan Rice destroyed every bit of it. Every bit of it. It's incredible. And there's only two ways to look at this, I think. Either A, Susan Rice is such a buffoon, and this is just one more revelatory moment and makes you wonder, what kind of low IQ effort was being played to run the government for a decade under this woman. Or she is just a vicious snake. I hate to put these as the only two options, but it's the only takes I got, folks. If I could give you a moderated one-on-one, she might be a snake who says, you dare talk to him. You dare try to placate the Trump administration, even if it would give us a massive win. I'll burn it to the ground. I'll raise everything. Scorched earth. Because she could have said this a week later. She could have said this 2 weeks later. Monday, today, tonight is the deadline. She did this days before the deadline, folks. It's either total unbelievable stupidity or it is a viciousness, and it is biting off your nose to, what do they call it, folks? Biting your nose or cutting off your nose to spite your face? Yeah. That's a Susan Rice take, I think. Which one? You tell me in the comments below. Let me know. But never have I ever seen such a momentous and important moment in entertainment just ravaged by a single individual. Netflix has, the next 8 hours to get rid of Susan Rice off the board? They can't do that either. Boy, you don't want to be a Netflix exec today. You don't want to be a Netflix exec. You either squandered this away and you watched half of your stock value drop over the past year chasing this thing, or you kick out Susan Rice and pray that she doesn't get any power again, because she's going to come get you and lock you up forever. Wow, what a thing. All right, that's entertainment today. The only thing going worse than this than for Netflix? Xbox. We'll talk about that in just a few hours. All right, folks, the power is yours. Click the like button, share, subscribe, and drop a comment down below. Until the next time, folks, we got to go for now, but we'll see you real soon. Keep learning, keep growing, and as always, keep having fun.
Wilton, what are you doing?
Well, word on the street is the culture war has officially made it to the doorstep of that park place. And I realize Jonas has no one there who loves him. So I thought I should go and protect them.
Yeah, okay. That's not, how you do this, right?
Do what? Fight? Don't worry, Floral. I will not be intimidated by a criminal threat.
Threat? Wilton, don't be ridiculous.
What does it matter to me? I have only one life to lose.
I mean, I totally expected you to die walking into traffic, but,
They may take our lives, but they'll never take our freedom!
Okay, just stop. This is just nonsense. You already have one of the easiest and most effective tools and weapons at your fingertips.
My axe?
No. The truth. Stay smart and ready to tell and share the truth by keeping up to date with WDW Pro, That Park Place, as well as Valiant Renegade.
And Jonas? I mean, he does things with Vash, and that's not very reassuring. That's like putting two helpless chipmunks into a piranha pond.
That's neither true nor accurate. Unlike the team from That Park Place.
Sue me.
Ugh.